Hello everyone, my name is Jack. I'm here today to share a personal story that changed my life forever. It's a story of how I lost my dream job because of my poor English skills. But through hard work and dedication, I was able to completely turn my life around in just 5 months. I want to share this with you to show that no matter where you start, with determination and consistent effort, you can achieve your dreams. I hope my story inspires you to never give up, no matter how difficult things seem. I was 25 years old when I lost my dream job. For as long as I could remember, I had worked hard to get there. I had completed my education, gained experience, and networked with people in my field. Finally, when I landed the job I had always wanted, I thought I had made it. It felt like everything I had worked for had come true. But there was a huge problem I hadn't anticipated. My English wasn't good enough. Even though I was great at the technical side of the job, my ability to communicate with colleagues and clients in English was holding me back. I realized that my lack of confidence in speaking English was keeping me from excelling. My boss called me in for a meeting and gave me the news that I wasn't up to the mark in this area. Hearing that broke me. I had worked so hard, and now I was being told that my language skills were the reason I couldn't succeed. After that meeting, I felt devastated. I went home that day feeling like everything I had worked for had just slipped away. For the next few days, I kept replaying the conversation in my head. I felt like a failure. It was hard to accept that I wasn't enough in the one area I had overlooked. I wanted to just stay at home, give up, and forget about my dreams. But then, after thinking deeply, I realized something important. I couldn't just give up. I wasn't going to let my dreams slip away because of one thing I could fix. I decided right there that I would make a change. I would improve my English and get my dream job back. It wasn't going to be easy, but I knew it was possible if I worked hard enough. The first thing I did was start reading more in English. I didn't know where to begin, so I started with simple books and articles. At first, it felt frustrating because I didn't understand many of the words. I had to look up words constantly, and it slowed me down. But I refused to stop. Every day I set aside time to read. Slowly but surely, I began to understand more. I started writing down new words and phrases that I didn't know, and I made it a point to learn their meanings. It wasn't easy, but after a month, I could see how much I had improved. I could read without stopping every few words, and that gave me the confidence to keep going. I was starting to feel better about my English skills, but I knew that reading alone wouldn't be enough to help me speak more confidently. So, I decided to focus on speaking as well. I began watching videos in English, particularly on topics that interested me, such as technology and business. I would watch the videos, listen carefully, and then repeat what the speakers said. At first, it felt awkward to say the words out loud. I didn't feel confident, and sometimes I felt silly repeating things on my own. But with each video, I felt myself getting better. I practiced every day, speaking out loud as much as I could. Over time, I started to notice that I could speak more easily. I wasn't stumbling over my words as much, and I started to feel more comfortable speaking in English. The improvement wasn't overnight, but I could tell that I was on the right track. By the end of the second month, I felt ready to take the next step. I decided to join online English groups where I could talk to people from all over the world. At first, I was nervous. I was afraid of making mistakes and sounding silly in front of others. But to my surprise, everyone was very supportive. They didn't judge me for my mistakes. Instead, they helped me, corrected me kindly, and encouraged me to keep practicing. I started to feel much more confident when speaking in real conversations. I realized that mistakes were a normal part of the process, and they didn't stop me from improving. In fact, they helped me learn. Slowly, I became more comfortable with speaking, and I was no longer afraid to make mistakes. In the third month, I noticed that I was speaking much more naturally. I didn't have to think as hard about what to say. My sentences came out more smoothly, and I felt more confident in my ability to communicate in English. I decided to start applying for jobs again. This time I was ready. I wasn't nervous anymore. I knew I had worked hard and had improved a lot. I felt confident that my English wouldn't hold me back this time. I went to job interviews, and instead of feeling afraid, I felt empowered. I could speak clearly, explain myself, and express my ideas. I could see the difference. I was no longer the person who struggled to communicate. I was someone who could speak confidently and fluently. By the 5th month, I received an amazing job offer. It wasn't just any job. It was an even better position than the one I had lost. I couldn't believe it. All the hard work I had put into improving my English had finally paid off. I felt so proud of myself. Not only had I regained the opportunity to work in my dream job, but I had also grown stronger, more confident, and more skilled. I had proven to myself that anything is possible with dedication and effort. I realized that losing my job was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It pushed me to improve. It showed me that I could overcome challenges if I worked hard enough. Now, whenever I look back on that time, I remember how difficult it was. But I also remember how much I grew. I learned a valuable lesson. Never give up, no matter how tough things get. If you keep working hard, you can achieve anything. So, if you're learning English or facing any challenge in life, remember this. Keep going, stay focused, and believe in yourself. You can change your life, just like I did.